There are all kinds of things that happen all the time that get us stirred up. And anger is a very normal response to feeling stirred up or to injustice. Or I know some of you probably read the newsletter I sent out yesterday, the post about that young man who died, and that anger is part of the response we have in that situation. And it's such an uncomfortable feeling, the grief and the sadness around something like that, that anger often seems a bit more accessible. So, whatever the situation might be for any of us, we might be working just with the heat of summer or maybe with the heat of emotion. But maybe we could do a bit of cooling, cooling down. One of the ways that we can do that is a yoga practice called Sitali breath. And this is a genetic thing. Just check to see when you roll your tongue. And so some people can roll their tongue and some people can't, and it's just pure genetics. Some can't, some can't. So if you can't, just kind of let your tongue be kind of flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through the rolled up tongue and then breathe out through the nose. So just get yourself settled so that you can relax and breathe. And then as you're breathing in, roll your tongue and breathe in across. So we're breathing in across that coolness. And then relax and breathe out through your nose. And we'll do this for a couple of minutes. Long, slow inhalation. Feel the cool, the wetness as your breath blows across your tongue. And then relax and let your whole body settle as you breathe out. And each time you breathe out, you could let a different part of your body relax. Kind of focus on your forehead and eyebrows one breath, and your jaw, your mouth, another few breaths. Really appreciate the coolness as you breathe in. Relax your neck and shoulders as you breathe out. Let the whole of your back relax and soften. And let go of that practice. Bring your awareness to your whole body from head to toe. If you want to change your position so that you're lying down, that's fine. If you want to do the sitting up, that's fine. Take a moment to notice everything that's going on in that space that your body is. We'll come back to thoughts in a moment. For right now, notice more of the sense perceptions of it. And notice that flow of air in your nostrils again. It's not as dramatic, that coolness as we breathe in when we're focusing on the nostril. There is a coolness to the in breath. And then bring attention to your thoughts. When we do that, what we notice is that we have a witnessing or an observing capacity, certainly of the sensations and different things that are going on in the body. And we also have that ability with our thoughts. So see if you can maintain that witnessing perspective for a while, noticing, first of all, the location that thoughts show up generally somewhere right in the area of our brain, in and around the forehead, maybe just kind of in front. Notice where your thoughts are showing up. And when we focus directly on thought, oftentimes there's a bit of a freeze. Nothing happens in thoughts for a moment. We watch them for a while, some thought will come up. And along with noticing the words or the pictures, notice your response. We're just talking about anger. And maybe there's an anger situation going on right now in your life. It doesn't usually take much for any of us to pull up some thoughts that are angry. Notice what's happening in your mind. Notice that you're observing as well as having the thoughts you're watching. And if there's any kind of heat in the thought, notice that. And then kind of put a pause on the thought and go right into your physical body and your energy. How is it that you're experiencing that heat? Is it a fire, kind of a hot feeling in your body? Is it in your face? Is it in your gut? What exactly happens? We can do this for a while. We bring up these thoughts, something that triggers the anger. That's not fair. Or that thing someone said, or whatever it might be. We notice the full experience, the thoughts, which are words or pictures, and where is that in the body? And we can do a freeze frame on one of the thoughts, or if there's a full flood of them, then you could put them all up onto like a collage or a group of pictures or words. So notice what your experience is with thoughts, and let's do some tapping or tracing. So with tapping, we just bring our attention to the thought and then to our two fingers tapping just between the eyebrows. And take your attention now just into the sound and sensation of the tapping. That automatically brings our attention away from thought. If you prefer, you could either eyes closed or eyes open, put a frame around the image or the word, and then take your eyes into the space on the outside of that frame. Go clockwise around that space a few times, and then counterclockwise. We'll give ourselves a few minutes to do this. Bring up a thought. Really look to see what it is or if it sounds, hear the sound. it's someone's voice, recognize that, then tap or trace. And notice as well that there's space around the energy in the body. Energy has a location. You feel your face heat up, or you've got a fiery sensation in your stomach. Really tune in now. Let the thoughts move to the background as soon as they lose some of their power. And if they're still pretty intense, I keep tapping or tracing the thought. And when that diminishes a bit, go right into the sensation in kind of a wordless way. Just noticing the qualities. Is it a shape, a color? If you have an image of it, you could use the tapping or tracing on that. Where exactly is it? And does it have like a stillness or a pulsing, a movement? Is it painful? Does it feel menacing? Really have a look. Anger is a familiar feeling, something that we all feel, some of us more than others. Just like you're a scientist, observe your own energy of anger in your body. And then notice the space all around the energy. Quite often, energy just kind of dissipates, and we might feel it in the stomach, the navel center, but we don't feel it up into the heart center, down into the legs. So you could put some space around it. Maybe it's your whole body, but then you can notice the space around your body. And notice how the air is a bit cooler on the outside of our body. Or notice what that energy is here to do. Does it want? This is the energy of anger. There's a heat often to the feeling of anger. Every once in a while, bring yourself back to the Sitali breath. Really focus in on that energy and sensation, and then curl your tongue and begin to inhale like that. Long, slow exhalation. Keep your attention very focused on that. And then as you're inhaling, really focus in on that coolness, on the wetness as the air flows over your tongue. Long, slow inhale. Often with anger, there's an intensity. Thoughts are really intrusive. Rah, 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 in the mind. We might need a strong practice of really looking at them and tapping or tracing. The energy in the body can be hot, heavy, and really grabs our attention as well. There can be an urgency to that feeling. And with thoughts on the energy, we're paying attention. We're allowing whatever our experience is to be there. And we could notice as well if we're willing to let things cool off. Would that be okay? Breathing in through that curled tongue, the Sitali breath. Inhale that wet coolness. Exhale that willingness. Let yourself cool off. Bring your attention to this observing, to the witness. We're witnessing what's happening in our body, the energy in our body, the thoughts in our mind, our breath. And notice if there's anything else, there's anything under the anger. Is there any other kind of energy here? You might notice that as the energy cools a bit, that something else comes forward. Or we might not. Notice your own experience. Keep noticing your body, your breath. And whatever it is that's here, notice if you're resisting that in any way, even in a very subtle way. Notice if you could welcome that sensation, welcome the thoughts, even. Quite often, justice or injustice is at the root of anger, feeling of something shouldn't have happened that way or should happen some way. There can be kind of a righteous anger. We're not making anger right or wrong, it just is. It's a human response. Notice if you can welcome your experience as it is, whatever it is, as it changes and shifts and moves. Notice if there's a willingness to do some tapping or tracing with the thoughts. Sometimes with anger, especially if there's some kind of injustice, we get very kind of attached to it. We get really charged up with anger. Just to set aside the whole question of what is right or wrong or anything like that. We're just working with the anger as an energy right now. Does it feel like in the body, and can you stay in that witness or observer? Fully feel the experience. And notice if there's a willingness to let things cool down. It doesn't mean anything about right or wrong or what's going to happen later or anything. It just means that for the next couple of minutes, would it be okay to let things settle and cool for a minute? You can imagine standing under a cool rain, letting the coolness soak through your hair into your scalp. Feel it run down through your face, over your chest, shoulders, your back. Let that coolness soothe yourself. Let yourself cool down from that heat. Take some more in breaths through the wetness and coolness of your tongue, softening on the exhale. Notice if there's a sense that you could have compassion for yourself, perhaps for other people too, really just for yourself right now. Experience of anger can be quite difficult and triggering. Often there's some compulsiveness to the thoughts about it. Our bodies get very heated. And could you kind of bring that kindness and compassion to yourself just for a moment? A difficult situation to be. Give yourself that support. Acknowledge the difficulty. And before we finish, set your intention to keep working with this in yourself if it's an issue for you right now or kind of an ongoing basis. And for some of us, the issue is that we don't really feel much anger. And that can be because there's a numbing or a suppressing. So there might be a kind of a fear around feeling anger. For some of us, it might be that we kind of are a hothead and we say things that we then regret. There's so many experiences that we have with anger, and kindness is appropriate in all of those experiences. Whatever it is that our personal relationship experience is, it's always good to be kind. And then when you're ready, open your eyes.